Hey, it's Squidly. I'm getting ready to go out on a weekend backpacking trip, and I thought I would show you the process that I go through and kind of what some of the thinking is as I get ready to pack. All right, as I go through this process, I'm going to be actually packing up my backpack as I go. So let me start there. I'm going to be taking the Z-Packs Arc Haul, and there are three things on here that I feel like I need to mention before I even get started. I have one of the waist pouches, and they usually fit over on your hip, and I have it so that it fits more in front of you, almost like a fanny pack, but it's not. I also have the water sleeve. This is from Chicken Tramper, and I keep some hand sanitizer on the shoulder strap and kind of at the ready, because through the course of the day I may use hand sanitizer 2 or 3 times. I failed to mention a fourth piece of equipment that's going to be with the backpack, and that's a contractor bag. And this points to something that I've got to deal with, which is what are the weather conditions going to be. And of course, the only weather condition this has anything to do with is precipitation. I'm going on Saturday and Sunday, and on Sunday there is a 100% chance of rain. I am going at some point to be walking in the rain. So just wanted to double up on the protection here by having a contractor bag to put everything that needs to stay dry in there so it stays dry. Whenever I get ready to pack, the first thing that I'm going to pack up may not make a whole lot of sense, but it makes sense to me because it helps the pack stand up as I'm doing it. But the first thing I'm going to pack is going to be my chair, and I just about always take this old piece of ridge rest, even if I'm not using it to sit on, which through the course of the day I might, because it keeps me from having to set up the chair, but it sets up sort of a doormat going into my tent at night. So I have somewhere dry to kneel down, to sit down in the process of getting in and out of the tent. So I take the chair and I roll it up in the old piece of ridge rest, and it's going to go on the bottom outside the backpack. All right, now the second of the weather conditions, what is the low temperature going to be? Sort of critical in figuring out which sleeping bag I'm going to take. The low temperature right now is forecast to be 40. If it goes much lower than that, I'm probably going to change my sleeping bag. But for right now, what that means is I'm going to go with the 15-degree Aeolus from Hike and Bike, but that 15-degree is a 30-degree Comfort. If it goes much further into the 30s, I'm probably going to switch over to a different sleeping bag. I know a lot of people don't use the stuff sacks they come with. This one came with a compression stuff sack, and for a couple of ounces, I really like the convenience of a stuff sack rather than trying to just stuff it down into the bottom of the pack. I don't know what the deal is with that, but I've never mastered it. I haven't gotten good at it. I haven't gotten it to where it'll compress down small enough for it to make any sense to me. Maybe that's just a skill I need to work on, but in the meantime, I'm going to use the stuff sack. All right, all packed up. Like I said, if the forecast low temperature changes, I can change my sleeping bag, but at this point I only have 24 hours to make that decision. So I'll be watching over the next 24 hours to see if I need to change this out. The sleeping bag goes in the contractor bag all the way to the bottom. The reason why it goes to the bottom is because, one, it carries really comfortably there, and two, through the course of the day, I don't need a sleeping bag. So it's as far away from convenient as I can get it. On the first day of hiking, there's no chance of rain, but the day is going to start out really cold. And since it's only an overnight trip, I'm only carrying one extra pair of socks. These will be what I would consider my extra socks and my sleeping socks. I have a couple of stream crossings, and I know that my socks that I start out with on Saturday are going to get wet. So by the end of the day, those are going to be really uncomfortable. And so these are the socks I'm going to change into at the end of the day, and the socks that I will be sleeping in Saturday night. I also have what I consider my camp clothes or my sleeping clothes, and it's just an extra layer to put on so that I stay nice and warm and comfortable overnight. And all of this goes in the contractor bag with my sleeping bag. The only other layer that's going to go in the contractor bag is going to be my puffy coat. And so I'll just stuff that down in the contractor bag with the sleeping bag and my sleeping clothes. Now I can just roll up the contractor bag, and that's all that's going to go in there. Now the next item, or items, that I won't need until time to set up camp and go to bed are going to be let's start with the rest of my sleep system. The Thermarest NeoAir X-Lite for my sleeping pad, and I have the Thermarest Airhead pillow. Do I have to take this or any other pillow? No, but a pillow is so comfortable. All right, notice that everything that's going down at the bottom, these are things that I don't need through the course of the day. The stuff that I might need at lunch or through the day as I may need different things, those are going to go toward the top for easy access. The next thing that I'm not going to need through the course of the day is my tent. This is the Z-Pax Plexamid, and what you probably cannot see is that there's a ground sheet that I've got in here. So that'll go in next. Now there are only two more things that are going to go on the inside. One is my Ditty Bag. Now this is where I keep all my ditties, which kind of begs the question, what is a ditty? So just real quick, let's go through this bag. This is my repair kit. It's for repairing gear and for repairing squiddly. This is my self-care kit. It's, toothbrush, toothpaste, medications. I have a bag with electronics. It has my my battery pack, earbuds, charging cords. The Nightcore headlamp, which is rechargeable, so I don't have to carry extra batteries for it. Let's see, some Gold Bond friction defense. This is a really big tube of this, but when last time I went to go get some, this was the smallest thing they had. It's huge. And I keep a second lighter. I don't know why. You know what? I think I do know why. If you've ever heard the saying, 2 is 1 and 1 is none, for some reason that just has stuck with me, and I can't bring myself to not bring a second one. Same thing here. For water, I bring the backup potable aqua tablets for water purification in case something happens to my filter. That's the contents of the Ditty Bag, and it will now go down in the backpack. The last thing that goes inside is my food bag. I have not packed any food yet, or drink mixes or anything at all like that. All of that is going to be done probably either tonight or tomorrow. I'll have a chance to go to the grocery. I kind of have a mental checklist of what I've got to go get, but that's one thing I have got to go and purchase before this trip. Now, what's in the bag that kind of never changes? Well, I have a fuel canister. This one is entirely too large. This is the large one. I don't know, maybe it's just me. I can't find the small ones. So I got one of the large ones. The Tokes 750 milliliter cook pot. Inside this is my stove, a bandana, and a lighter. titanium spoon. I keep my knife in here and the bear bag hanging rope. So for right now, I'm going to leave this out because I still have to pack this. Now for the things that go on the outside of the pack. These are things that need to be accessible through the course of the day because at some point through the day, I'm probably going to need all of this. So the first thing is my toilet kit. It's toilet paper, wet wipes, and the deuce of spades for digging a cat hole. I have the Catadin Be Free water filter with the 3-liter bag. And if you think the 3-liter bag is kind of overkill, that I should have got the 2-liter because it's smaller and lighter and all that, you're probably right, but I have needed the 3-liter bag before. So really glad that I got it. In addition to the Be Free, I also have a half of a plastic bottle that I use as a scoop. I take 2 water bottles, and this one has a Gone Feral with Squiddly sticker on it, so you know it's quality. And I've started carrying a Powerade bottle for a nightly visit to the latrine where I don't have to actually get out and go anywhere. Since my tent only requires 1 trekking pole and I only like walking with one, I have 1 trekking pole. Now this last thing is something that for some reason I do this to myself all the time. I pack up the things that get packed up every time, and then I end up with a small list of things that I may or may not take. Well, I may or may not take this microfiber cloth for cleaning the inside of the tent in case that rain comes early and I end up with a lot of condensation and need to kind of clean up the tent before I get going on Sunday morning. Maybe I'll take this. I've already said that I have stream crossings, and so my socks and shoes are going to be wet at the end of the day, but I have dry socks to get into. The problem is I may be putting those dry socks into wet shoes, and so I'm thinking about carrying these camp shoes. The last thing, and I'm at about 15% yes on this, I have Handyman's tarp, and I may take it just in case the rain comes early. I could go ahead and have this set up on Saturday night, and so I have somewhere dry to get out of the rain while I'm packing up and getting ready to go. All right, I've mentioned rain now 2 or 3 times. 100% chance of rain Sunday. I'm going to get wet. So rain gear now. I have a Frog Tog top, and I'm thinking about maybe taking the bottoms, but I just don't think I am. I think I'm going to just pass on the bottoms and just take the top. As a part of my rain gear, and I don't think this is something that I've ever dealt with on my channel, but I also have these, they're chemical gloves, nitrile, I'm not sure how to pronounce it, I think it's nitrile, but I have these chemical gloves, and I can wear these actually with my fleece gloves inside these gloves. So anyway, this will help keep my hands dry and help keep me warm, and I don't know if that's something anybody else deals with, but if I'm hiking in the rain and my hands get cold, I'm just miserable. So I started using these chemical gloves, and it's better. All right, the last piece of rain gear, and I don't have one right now. It's the second thing that I've got to go get in addition to food. I've got to go pick up just a cheap umbrella. Okay, that does it for the process of me packing up and kind of what my thinking is on most of this, and how I do it and why I do it the way I do. If you have a different way of doing it, and I know you do, tell me in the comments. Let's have a conversation about that. I'd love to hear some variations on how to do this. And if you think I got it wrong, that's okay. Just be nice about it. Finally, if you found value in this video, do me a favor and hit like and subscribe on the way out.